What's up, Sooner Nation? The Oklahoma Sooners are regional champs they've defeated Oregon 3-2 behind a pretty good pitching performance from Nicole May with Kelly Maxwell closing out the game. 7 innings today, 3-2. Sooners really story of the day was got a lot of runners on base and just couldn't get them around. But maybe the biggest play of the game was Riley Boone's laser dart to Kenzie Hansen to keep that score tied. But that ends up being really the difference in that game. But Sooners get it done and win by a score of 3-2 as they will now move on to the Super Regional next weekend against Florida State, who won the Tallahassee Regional, guys.
Yeah, rematch of the World Series from last year championship. So get the rematch. And today's game, it was another game where me and Braden talked about this on a video earlier this week, Braden. The amount of runners that Oklahoma's leaving on base is, I mean, you get the win, you win the regional, but in the World Series, if you're stranding that many runners, I'm afraid it's going to come back to bite you. So they got to get better at that. And a lot of those, yes, it's going to have to be 2-out hits to get those runners in. And that's what they've done so well in years past. I think they got to do that a little bit better as they head to the Super Regionals and into the World Series. I will say the first inning, they get the 1 run. The second inning, they get the 1 run. Both of those really good chances to kind of get a good lead there and just couldn't do it. Overall, Coleman, I think, had 3 of the first 4 hits of the game for Oklahoma. So good to see her swinging the bat well today. And the Sooners squeak it out. And Nicole May, she did. She pitched really well for the most part. I'll say through the whole regionals. At one time, I had to look to make sure. But at one time through today's game, they had not walked one batter. And they might still not have walked a batter throughout the whole regionals, which is crazy. The control's been great. May had it all working for the most part. Drop ball, screwball. I mean, she was dealing really well. Love to see it. Little surprised Deal didn't start, guys. To be honest, Braden, were you surprised that Kirsten Deal did not start the game?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, honestly.
That she didn't pitch at all the whole regional.
No.
Jay, I said on the pregame I thought Nicole May might get the start, but here's the question. Is Gasso just going to go with Maxwell and May the rest of the
I don't think so.
Kirsten Deal's been one of the best pitchers. I was shocked she didn't get a pitch.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I was too, Jeremy, but I don't know. I haven't listened to Patty's post game to see why they went with May, but, because she had pitched game 1. But, there's a lot of things we don't see, too. Maybe it's in practice sessions or bullpen sessions, whatever. Maybe they feel like May is really clicking right now. I don't know. I'm just very surprised. I mean, you go back and look at the starting pitchers. Take out Deal coming in for relief. Take that out of the equation. When she starts, she's been outstanding. And I think the problem with it, in my opinion, like today, if you start May, really you can bring in Maxwell out of the pen, but I don't really like Deal coming out of the pen. So I think it kind of limits you. Whereas I think if you start a Deal, May could come in out of the pen, I think, be okay. But, hey, I'm not questioning. I'm just bringing it up as a thought of what you all thought, because now we're moving on to Super Regional. We all know it's best 2 out of 3. I wonder who the 2 are going to be,
Yeah, it's going to be OU and Florida State.
No, I mean the 2 pitchers.
It's going to be Maxwell in game 1, guys.
Maxwell will be game 1, 100%.
Yes.
I would like to see Maxwell and then maybe Deal game 2. But, hey, let me ask both of you guys this, because I have an opinion on this. Obviously, when you're straining so many runners, it wasn't ideal today. They had runners after runner after runner on base. They left 2 on in multiple innings. I think there needs to be a change in the lineup. I want to see if you guys agree. I'm just curious. Braden, I'll start with you. If there was a change, what would you make? If there was one change you would make right now, what would it be?
Riley Ludlam for Sydney Sanders.
That's mine.
Well, let me ask you this. If you do that, do you play Ludlam at first? Do you move Parker to first and EH Ludlam? What do you do there at first base?
Either way, though. Either way is fine. But here's the deal, Jay. If everyone, and I agree, Sydney Sanders is a great first baseman. Her hitting's been atrocious. Let's just call it like it is. But if her first base ability is by far and away better than everyone else's on the team. Why in the bottom of the 7th in a 3-2 game is Alina Torres now at first base?
Yeah, that was
that one.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. That was odd.
Well, I think they were doing that because they pulled her after her last at bat, and if they got up to bat again, it would have been Torres. I think. I don't know, Jeremy. I agree something with Sanders at the plate. I mean, it's. I don't want to say automatic out, but lately it's pretty much been close to that. And
Riley Ludlam was great.
Yeah, so I don't know what you do there, guys. I don't.
And I have to say about the lineup she did. Why was she batting Boone 7th?
I liked it.
Well, and Boone got up in the was it the first inning? 2 runners on. She hit it pretty deep to center, but she had an opportunity there in that hole. So I think that was an okay decision there. You obviously got to move Hodge. I mean, Hodge isn't going to be above her, I don't think, in the lineup.
Hey.
Hodge played the entire game today.
Hey, I got to say something about Hodge. Her at bat, where she fouled off like 15 pitches. I don't know the exact number. It was a lot. And then she gets hit by the pitch, and then she scores on first from that double from Jada. I mean, to me, that was a big play in the game, man. I don't think it's talked about enough. And guys, I mean, I know we've all talked about Hodge and her hitting, but the last few games she's swung the bat. She's hit it pretty good. Like the game before this, hit one down to deep right pretty good. Tagged it pretty good, hit a liner the game before and got out. I mean, the girl made the play, but I just think that at bat was a big at bat for Oklahoma today. It was a big important part. So I give it up for that at bat. It was good way to contact foul off.
What I have to say, if it wasn't for Jada and Tiare's runs and Boone's throw it out.
Yeah, I mean, the seniors stepped up pretty good across the board, honestly. But, Jay, I got to say something about what you just said, and I kind of agree with you. Is Hodge going to be rewarded for that at bat? Because you could, if Torres can play first, then you play Torres or Sanders, and you play Hodge. It's going to be interesting to see if she's rewarded for that at bat.
That is an option. You could play Hodge at second and Torres at first. I mean, but I don't know. We'll see where they go from that. It's another week away. I will say though, after this regional, this regional was won with pitching. I mean, OU's pitching. OU's hitting late in the games, and the first 2 games got going, but it was the pitching that kind of kept them other teams at bay, really. And they pitched great all weekend. May, Maxwell, both of them pitched outstanding all weekend. That's what you're going to have in the super regionals to then get to the World Series, and then if you want to win your 4th natty.
Hey, I mean, don't forget about Oregon played well.
You got to give it up to Oregon. They played OU pretty tight. I mean, let's be honest. They were better than I thought. They scored 16 in 2 games against Boston U. And OU, fortunately, had the pitch, like you said, Jay. They didn't put many on base. They didn't give them many free passes. That was big. But the biggest thing is the Sooners are the regional champs, guys, and they will face the Seminoles at Love's Field this next weekend. It's going to be exciting, guys. I can't wait. Make sure you're following the Sooner Surge because we will have content throughout this week talking about it. Again, thanks for watching our channel. We'll see you next time. Boomer.
Sooner.